everyone. Happy Sunday. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is Weekend Wake Up. My name is Caitlin Aristizabal, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host,
Leslie Gallagher.
Today is November 15th, and we've got our usual dose of lifestyle, entertainment, and wellness for you.
But before we get started, we've got to know what's going on in this day in history. Taking it back to 1777, Articles of Confederation, the first Constitution of the United States, is approved by the Continental Congress. That gives me some real Hamilton flashbacks, hearing those words. Not history class, Hamilton the musical.
Of course,
education for you.
Yeah, it's a history lesson.
Exactly, it's a history and a musical. Anyways, in 1926, we got a radio fun fact. First formal radio network, RCA, takes over AT&T 25-station network, NBC. Fun. And in 1969, the first ever color television commercial was aired in the UK on ATV in the Midlands during a Thunderbirds episode. So that's some really cool history right there.
No, that's awesome. Especially as media students, just kind of looking at the things that kind of started everything. It's so different from where we are now, and it's awesome to see.
I love all of the TV and radio facts because, in the 1920s and 30s is when radio started to get really popular, and then later on they were oh, video's a thing. It's really fun to look at these facts and see how we got to where we are. I mean, right now we're on Zoom, but it's still really cool that we get to do this stuff, But anyways, it's time for What's Trending with Kathy. How are you doing today, Kathy?
Hi, I'm doing good. I hope everyone out there is doing good as well, and that everyone's staying safe and everything. So this week, I did hear about a viral story that happened earlier this week. The HD Kids website posted a story about a single man, Robert Carter, his now 5 children on October 30th. He adopted all five of these siblings to ensure that they would not be separated within the foster care system. Carter himself is a foster child, so he obviously did know what these kids have gone through. This story went viral on a couple different social media outlets as well, such as NBC News, CBS Interactive, Access Hollywood, and many more. Even though the story did come out about two and a half weeks ago by now, I think that there is a lot more attention being brought to this story right now. There's even a GoFundMe page that was started by Robert Carter's brother, which now has over $100,000 in donations, and their goal right now is $250,000. These donations are going to go and help Mr. Carter and his now 5 children in order to get a new house so that they're able to grow up in a new environment and everything as well. So do either of you have any thoughts on this? I personally think that stories like this are not told enough at all. I feel as though a lot of these stories just aren't shared again as well. I can't even imagine the process it must have been for Robert Carter to adopt these 5 children, because again, he is a single man, and it's not something that you usually do hear about.
Yeah, that's true. I love hearing stories like this. It's just so wholesome, and it warms my heart. It really does. There are a lot of children in the foster system, so when you kind of hear a happy story come out of it, it's amazing to see. I had not heard about this at all, so I want to look into the GoFundMe just because it's really, I want to read their whole story because it sounds amazing, and I really do wish them the best because good for him. I mean, I hope that they have a good life and they get the home and they reach their goal and the GoFundMe.
Caitlin, you're feeling all the wholesome vibes. You're overwhelmed with the little, the emojis, all the hearts. That's Caitlin right now.
Oh no, the one with the pleading eyes, I think they call it. That's me 24/7. That yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm also really touched by this story. They're those feel good stories, and I feel you hear more, bad stories about the foster system and things that don't work out. So I'm probably surprisingly proud of this stranger for doing something so bold. I mean, taking on 5 kids by yourself is a lot of work. And I just think he probably has a really big heart because he went through the same thing his kids are now, or they went through, but now they have a stable home and they get to stay together. And they probably didn't imagine that beautiful outcome for themselves, but they're getting like a happy ending, or I should say more like a happy beginning, because this is their childhood. So honestly, I love it. I love it.
No, that's true. I like what you said before too, like how it's like a complete stranger, but we're so happy about it because, you see somebody else do, like if you saw somebody do a good deed on the street too, like that's the same thing. Like it kind of warms your heart, and it's just nice that we can all connect with each other kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with both your statements and everything. I think that, again, it is very important because there are so many children that are in the foster care system. And it's something that, it's like someone for me who, did not grow up in an environment like that. Like, I definitely just take, like my parents for granted at times and things of that sort. So I feel like it just kind of like, this story kind of makes me want to go and like hug my parents, but like, thanks for everything, guys, Thanks for helping me out and everything. So.
Aw, that's so sweet. No, I 100% get what you mean too. That's like I think we can all say that we've all been pretty fortunate in our lives compared to, children who have been in the system. Like it's not easy.
No, it's not. And it's like, these stories, they do remind us of like the little things in life that we too take for granted, like every single day. And it's like, I like them as a reminder. Like of course I don't like hearing about, someone else's misfortune, but it does remind you of like what you do have and what to be grateful for, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. Always those reminders are good.
Exactly.
Anyways, Kathy, thank you so much for that feel-good story today. We really loved it, and we hope you have a good rest of your week and that you come up with something good for our episode next week for Thanksgiving. Hopefully
Thanksgiving. Leslie's favorite holiday.
That's true. I really love Thanksgiving.
But speaking of holidays, Leslie, did you hear that they're doing the Thanksgiving Day parade virtually?
No, but like I'm also like, I mean, it makes sense, right? But that is a bummer. I'm more curious as to like how they're doing that virtually. That's like very interesting to me. I guess they're gonna have like cameras and then people can like tune in and watch it. That is very interesting, but it's probably the safer way to go anyways, so.
Oh wait, yeah, like I didn't even think about it like that. Like there's always so much going on. Are they just gonna be recording it down the block and just
It's gonna be so anticlimactic. Like as a viewer, you're just gonna like, and are you gonna have to pay for it? Like do people pay to go to that? I don't even know.
I don't think so. I think you can just walk into the city and just like, hey, I'm here.
I
think it's hard to get a good spot. You gotta wait. It's like the same thing with New Year's. Like it's not, you don't have to pay, but you have to wait for hours if you want to see anything. So
I wonder if they'll make you wait for hours on Zoom to watch it. They'll make you like be in the waiting room.
Yeah, but in other holiday news, I found this article and it's very intriguing to me. And we're gonna take a little step into Christmas real quick because
it's a Christmas. Is it too early for Christmas? Maybe. I'm wearing a green sweater. Who knows?
It's okay. It's okay. I love Christmas. And it is too early to listen to Christmas music. I'm on that side of the argument. You can't listen to Christmas music until after Thanksgiving, but oh my God, I love Christmas music so much. But anyway, that's not the point of this article. So this article from CBS says that the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree has been chosen, but all the celebrations are going to look a little different this year. So I'm very nervous about this. I'm somebody who I do my best to try and see the tree every year. Like I really do.
Really?
Do that? Is that?
I mean, here's the thing: is we do live like an hour from NYC, so we probably should. But like, I don't go every year. I went a few times as a child. I remember that pretty vividly. Yeah. It was beautiful, but I haven't been recently. Definitely not in the last 5 years.
I mean that makes sense. I'm somebody, I grew up in the area, so like I live so close to the city, and
you actually live a lot closer, so that makes sense.
I do. I live like 15 minutes from the city, and I grew up like with the view and just being close. And I think when I was younger, like we wouldn't go, not necessarily the tree. Actually, let me stop lying. I did go to the city a lot as a kid. I don't know what I was trying to say, but I love New York at Christmas time. I really do. It's so magical, and it's always full of tourists, and it's beautiful to see all the different people come together and just look at everything. You have all the storefronts are decorated, and of course that's still a thing, and I think they're still doing that, but it's going to definitely look different this year because there's less tourists and just I don't know, like
they don't want to travel as much. It's just not as safe right now.
No, yeah, it's definitely the smart decision, but I'm curious about how people are gonna celebrate. Just I don't know. I don't even think I'm gonna get to see the tree this year, which makes me sad. And they are still doing the tree lighting on December 2nd, and I did go to the tree lighting last year. So,
Ooh,
but I
that
wonder if
sounds
it's gonna be
fun.
virtual because the tree lighting is also crazy. Like they
I
close the streets.
I hot take. I feel like you cannot feel the magic as much through a computer. The whole thing is like seeing it light up before your eyes and like being there with your family and like being super freezing in New York in December. Like that's like the whole big part of it. So like I don't know if I even want to do it virtually. Like I don't know. That doesn't sound like as magical. I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm just pessimistic. I don't know.
No, that was such a good way to look at it because it really is a magical thing. And I mean, they always record it so you can watch it on TV. But I'm just curious, I guess maybe they're going to do no audience because there's always performances and stuff. Like I went last year and I could hear John Legend singing from the top of a building, but I didn't know where. Like I literally was like, where's it coming from? But I just
Oh my
knew because I was
God.
watching it at the same time on my phone and I was like, he's here. He's here. And I just, oh my God.
You were there, but you're watching on your phone because you couldn't find. That is so
Yeah,
funny.
because there were so many people. It's crazy. But of course, we we're not doing large gatherings because we're trying to stay
No.
safe.
Yeah, it's not safe, but it is a bummer with like the holidays. I think a lot of people anticipated like the virus to be like over by now, and it's like just getting worse. Especially, I mean, like we're speaking of like the US, not the whole world, because some countries are getting better, but the US, no, we're getting worse, especially our area, New
Yeah.
Jersey and New York. And a lot of people probably thought they were going to be able to celebrate the holidays the same as they always do, but as we're getting closer to them, it seems like not so much.
Yeah, 100%.
Bummer. Wow. I really just bummed out the whole show, didn't I?
No, it's okay. I mean, cases are going up. We have to be aware of it. We have to be safe. I mean, although I may not be able to have my typical favorite December day in the city where I get to see the tree and do all these fun little activities, maybe I will still get a chance to go ice skating because I know Bryant Park and Rockefeller Center, their ice rinks are open and they have safety restrictions in place, so there's social distancing. So we'll see. We'll see what Christmas looks
We
like as
shall
we.
see. And you know
Yes.
what? Holiday cheer is holiday cheer at the end of the day. It's always like a feel good holiday. You're going to spend time with family in person, on Zoom, whatever. Hang up your Christmas decorations around your house early if you want to give yourself the extra holiday cheer. Do what you need to do.
Well, enough about Christmas. In other news, we have Kenny here with some entertainment updates. Kenny.
Hi. Okay, I don't know if you two are football fans. I am.
Nope.
Cool. And by the way, I fully expect my 2-7 Giants to make it. Anyway, you're definitely music fans. Everybody's a music fan.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed. Okay.
You're a radio show after all. If you don't like music, you're out.
Yeah. So, big news. The Weeknd is set to perform at the big game. That's it. The end of the year for football. AFC versus NFC. Big game.
The Weeknd. Why didn't I know about this? Wait, when did this come out?
It was like a couple days ago it was announced. He's playing February 7th, the Raymond James Stadium, the official stadium of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay. And it's the Tampa Ray because that's a baseball team. Or no, is it? I don't know.
Sports.
I know
Oh.
baseball. But this is crazy because he's the second most popular artist on Spotify.
Wow.
Has over 60 million listeners a month.
Oh my God. That's crazy. I mean, I listened to The Weeknd, but I didn't know he was the second most listened to artist on Spotify.
Yeah,
Good for him.
Popular.
because I like looked into it like just a month ago or two, just out of curiosity. I don't know who it is now, but that's not really the point. He's a huge name. I actually had a professor last semester. He'd say that guy that only performs on Saturday and Sunday.
That's
Aw.
cool.
But he's the first performer to have all the top 3 spots on the Billboard R&B charts. That's a huge deal.
Oh wow.
He's
Oh my
joining
God.
Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, and the Rolling Stones as artists who have performed at the big game.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big deal to like be invited to play at the halftime show, I feel like.
I remember I was a Disney kid, so I remember watching Austin Alley, and
Oh, same.
well, Austin, he got invited to play the game, and like he was like, "This is the big moment." Like, or no, wait, was it that? Oh no, it was Times Square, but still, same point.
That's such a good episode, though. I like completely off topic, but that is such a good episode when they go to Times Square and then they like collide with Jesse. Ugh.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's didn't happen with the game, but you get what I mean. It's a big deal.
Yeah, no, it really is. So many. It's just crazy because that performance reaches so many people.
It's
So
the
that's
viewed thing
And like
single year.
also like a lot of people who aren't football fans will literally tune into the halftime show just to watch it. I know I do because
yeah,
I
that's me too.
performances, like I do it pretty much every year because I'm just like I want to see what they come up with because it's always spectacular no
Last
matter who
year.
does it. Like it's always like they go all out. It's so entertaining. I love it.
No,
Better
yeah.
than the football, but that's just me.
Yeah, because
think, every career kind of has that moment. Like that's when you know you've made it pretty much. And for you two, what do you think that would be?
like a
I
moment
feel-
where you've made it.
Yeah, like with that, like it's like
Really?
the game. Like you know, like I'm a success because I'm playing at this game. What's the
It was funny.
or
I
what-
feel like, I mean, like in all terms of media, I feel like there's like a lot of like award winning. So like even like in any field of like media, I know that I'm like pretty sure there's like awards like for like everything, like you know, like best screenplay, like best like press release or like best everything, like performance, and maybe as like a news anchor or like an actress or something. So like even though that's not as big as a Super Bowl, like depending on like where you're getting the award from, I feel like awards are like that tangible thing where you're like, enough people thought I was good enough for me to get this. And like, I don't know, I've always wanted to win some sort of award because I don't know, it just seems like really cool to like win an award for something you love doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw, I always wanted to win a televised award. I feel like that's a big deal.
Like an Oscar or an
You could like give a speech on television.
Oh my god, that reminds me, we did so I did like TV production in high school, and at the end of the year we had like a mini like award show because we wanted to like end the year really well. So like we actually like had everyone like nominate like certain things for like best this, best that for all of our videos because we did so many videos that year because you'd produce one like every single week. So it was a lot of stuff.
I
So
hope my school's film festival.
oh yeah, you mentioned that before. And then like we had like a bunch of other people like vote in the school, and then we had like an award show, and like when I won one of the things, me and my group like made like a speech. It was so funny. It was cute. It made me feel special.
Moving on to other, let's see how this goes. Award winners. Friends. That's the best transition I got. Caitlin, I know you're excited for this one. Friends reunion is scheduled for the beginning of March, says Matthew Perry. It was originally postponed in August because of COVID, but it's supposed to start production again early next year. And there was a little take on it in the Emmys. Emmys, I don't remember how long ago it was, not too long ago, but it was a little skit. It was Lisa Kudrow, Courtney Cox, and Jennifer Aniston. They're all acting like they've actually been roommates since 1994 when the show started. And it's actually kind of funny. And it's just that, like, it's expected. Like, Jimmy Kimmel, he was the host. He keeps on going back and forth. It's like, why? You shouldn't be there. No, it's like they're kind of using Friends. Like, that's their life. Caitlin, I'm going to you first. What do you think?
I am very excited. I mean, I'm just curious about what they're going to do, though. Like, I don't know how it's going to, I don't know. It's just going to be exciting to see. And I don't know what to expect, to be honest. Like,
Good.
are there any specifics on what they're doing? It's just a reunion?
Not much, but good news. It's being produced by the original creators of the show.
Okay, see, I love that. That's important.
Yeah.
Because, if you have like outside people and then they kind of like change the whole and it's,
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
that's,
that would just be
that's
frustrating as a viewer if it was like completely different people, because then like what's the point of the reunion,
Yeah.
That's good that they're doing that.
Yeah.
I feel like Friends is not that it has, well, maybe a little bit. I feel like it kind of has a negative connotation to it now because people have rediscovered it and there's so much like hype, I guess, around it. And I hate that because I mean, I watched it when I was a kid just because my mom watched it and I probably didn't understand it, but I just grew up watching it and then I understood it more and more. So now I feel like people are just like, oh, Friends, like everybody watches Friends. And I was like, but it wasn't like that before. Like it
But
got,
like you're tired of it because it's been around for a while? Like, is that what
I'm not tired of it. I hate the way that it's, I don't know, I guess kind of the way it's repopularized, but that's the reason that things get reunions anyway. Like that's what initiates it when people rediscover it. But it's just like annoying to hear people talk about it. Like it's so new.
like they're over it, basically?
No, they're so into it. And I'm just like,
Oh,
this isn't new.
Okay.
I don't like, yeah, because they're like really into it. I'm like, this isn't a new thing. But
I get what you're
anyway.
It's like that. See, I'm just gonna have a comparison. It's like when the song "Africa" by Toto got popular because of Stranger Things, but it had always been a good song. It was popular when it came out, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, this new song is so cool!" And it's like, no, that's not a new song. Stranger Things was set in the 80s or whatever. That's when it came out. That's why they used it. People didn't know that. I feel like that's the same level.
That's Africa the song.
Yes. What do you think I meant?
No, I said I'm not a fan of Africa, meaning the song.
Well, maybe that's because it was played so much.
No, I just don't.
You just don't like it.
I just don't like it.
You do, you, Kenny. You have your own opinion.
That's right. But going a little bit back to this Friends thing, it's kind of what just streaming services have done. You know, they've brought back reunions because it's every show, like Friends. It's 1994. It's going back, and everybody's able to view it in a matter of days. You know, it'd be crazy to view Friends, a 10-season show, in a matter of days, but I guarantee somebody has done it.
Well, for sure, especially with quarantine.
Yeah.
And that's just getting very common. Like I remember, I think it was the first episode, we talked about Dexter, which is also good. Or not reunion, it's just the limited series, but still the same idea.
Watch like 10 seasons in 2 days and you're like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, when they put old stuff on streaming services to binge watch.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It's very nostalgic, you know?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Friends is one of those shows I haven't seen all the episodes, but I've seen most of them.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen a good amount.
Yeah.
Well, they took it off Netflix, so you gotta go somewhere else to watch it.
Yep. But right now, it went from Netflix to HBO Max, and that's also where it's going to be released.
See, this is why I think I might need to give in and pay for HBO.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
We were talking about HBO. But now they're doing the reunion. Like, I'm going to have to pay for HBO for at least a month to watch that. And the new episodes of Euphoria. Anyway, it's fine.
Your life sounds very, very difficult.
Talking about things coming back, an old Hollywood star, Sophia Loren, is doing her first movie in the past 10 years. This is my movie review, if you didn't get the segue. The Italian actress won an Oscar back in 1961 for Two Women, and she was also awarded with an honorary Oscar in 1991 for just her contribution to film. I personally know her a lot from Houseboat with Cary Grant. I grew up watching that movie. The movie, it's called The Life Ahead. It's directed by her son, Eduardo Ponti, and she's worked with him twice before. It's the second adaptation of the original book called The Life Before Us, and it was released in 1975. In the film, Sophia Loren plays Madame Rosa. She's a Holocaust survivor and a former prostitute who owns a daycare business. And she helps raise the kids of her former people that she knew as a prostitute. She takes in Momo, a 12-year-old Senegalese orphan who recently robbed her. And here are my thoughts. I give this movie an 8.5 out of 10.
That's
I love it.
high for you, Kenny. You normally are like a 6 or 7.
This is the highest one.
Points.
But the performances, that's one of the most notable things. I wouldn't be surprised if Sophia Loren got nominated for an Oscar or even won one, which would be insane considering that was 59 years ago for her last win.
Oh my God, that would be so iconic.
Yeah, she's
iconic. I can't speak.
She's 86 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Being that
And she also, by the way, looks fantastic.
Yeah, she doesn't look.
In the movie, they had to like make her look older.
Wow,
Okay.
that's crazy.
But getting right back to it, the 12-year-old actor, Ibrahima Yeye, I think I did that right. Goye, I'm gonna go with that. He, playing a Senegalese orphan, was almost better than the seasoned actress of 60 years. His performance was fantastic because it really spoke to something he did throughout the film, was pushing away people when help was most needed, because he didn't think he didn't deserve it. And that's something that a lot of people do. They're always pushing away things when they think that they don't deserve happiness. And so much has happened to him that he pushes it away, even when, Madame Rosa, person who is loved by the community, tries to help him. And because of his past, he grew up really fast. The scenes where it's evident that he's, just a kid, he's always got these headphones around his neck. And when he's dancing around, just like that, like a little kid, with the headphones and the music, that's something that kids do. They dance without even thinking, don't care.
I do that too sometimes.
And in seconds after, you just see violence. It turns back to his real life. It's what he wants, and then what it actually is. It's what he's been forced into growing up as. And the thing that he's been forced into growing up as is someone who's just having to live a dark life. His parents died at a young age, so he has nothing. He really has nothing. And it's so easy to turn to the dark side when you don't have anything else. Many people do that, myself included. When you have nothing, he starts selling drugs at 12 years old.
Oh my God.
He's really successful at it.
I don't
And
know.
it's just sad. But with Madame Rosa, as the film goes on, realize the impact that she made on him. And it shows that really, if someone has a positive figure in their life, one that is truly good for them, that can respect them, it can take them back from a complete 180. But they just on a new path. Life is different. If you are interested in the movie, it was released Friday on Netflix. Netflix original.
Last Friday?
Well, we're premiering on Sunday, so it wasn't last night. It was 2 nights ago.
Yeah, that makes sense. So on the 13th, on my Friday 13th.
13th, yeah.
That's what I get.
Yeah, Friday the 13th. Well, that's interesting because it's like dark and it's Friday the 13th. Anyway,
It's beautiful.
Spooky.
No, that sounds awesome. Sunday movie night. I know what I'm gonna watch.
Fantastic.
That sounds really good. It sounds like the director did like a really awesome job with like the contrast of like what you were describing for like him with his headphones on and then like reality. Like
That scene, I was like,
that
whoa.
sounds amazing.
He gets gut punched while he's listening to the music.
Oh.
It's just the stark contrast of what he wants and what he should have versus his reality. And that's pretty much the whole movie. And everybody's got stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You're making me
I hope
feel
you enjoyed the review. This is my favorite review I've done. I'm very happy I did.
Yes, we always enjoy it. Thank you for being with us, Kenny. I love listening to your movie reviews because, like I always say, it always gives me something to watch over the weekend.
Yes, for your cozy Sunday, you can watch The Life Ahead on, what'd you say, HBO? Because it was
Netflix.
Netflix. Voice on Netflix.
Ah,
Easier
sorry.
access, Netflix.
All right,
for
we'll see
some.
you next week, Kenny. Peace out.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Of course, anytime. Caitlin, do you want to talk about some good news to maybe like brighten things up a little? Because honestly, I love his movie review, but that made me really sad.
I love stuff like that. Like that made me excited to watch. I love watching sad things.
Yeah, honestly, I do like sad movies, like in a way, because they make you feel things and they make you realize things, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's just
And
like
I love
really,
looking at things from a different perspective.
for sure. It's definitely like really, I don't know, eye-opening. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the word for it.
Yeah, the beauty of film. But well, Leslie found this article.
Yes, I did on the Good News Network, because honestly, if you're ever feeling sad, just like you can always go over to the Good News Network and they always have like really like heartfelt stories. So there was this story about a restaurant in Jersey City, in apparently the downtown area, that was called Wirtz Bar, and they recently had to like temporarily close because one of their staff got COVID. And they were like, well, we're not gonna, be open, obviously. We're gonna close until everyone's been tested and everyone's cleared. They were doing like the really responsible thing, which I really admire. And then the barbershop next door, I think it's Virile, I'm sorry, Virile barbershop, swooped in and helped them and just like took over the business like about like 24 hours after they had or in less than 24 hours after they were temporarily closing. Those workers like stepped in so that the restaurant did lose business. And I thought that was just so sweet. They were so grateful because,
that's so beautiful.
yeah, and it's like businesses are really like suffering right now, especially because we're going into a second wave, especially in New Jersey. So it's just like this whole year has affected businesses so badly. So like my heart goes out to them, and to see that they're, joining together. And at least like, these two businesses were very different, like a restaurant and a barbershop. So it's not like they probably have some overlapping customers, but it's not like, they came together is what I'm saying, because they aren't like, if it was two restaurants, I don't really know if that would be the same situation, but like, it's still really nice to see them like coming together, because I guess, the pandemic does spread us apart, 6 feet, but also it can kind of bring people together too. So there's light and things. So I just thought that was a sweet story to share.
That's such a beautiful thing, though, Leslie. I just want to shout out to my county because I'm from Hudson County. And I went to school in Jersey City. I've actually never been here, though, but I do know where it is. And it's just so sweet to hear, especially something that, like, two total opposites, like a barber and a restaurant, and just having neighbors help each other out. Because I feel like that's what it is. It's like to work in, I guess, maybe like a city type of area, because you have all these people around you. So, I mean, you make friends with your neighbors, which is normal usually. And I know New Jersey, and especially cities, has their jokes for people being rude and not talking to each other. But all jokes aside, you always have communities that come together to help each other out. And I mean, that's what I've grown up around, and it's amazing to see.
Same. We always have like that New Jersey stereotype of like, oh, we're so rude. But honestly, when you get to know like some New Jerseyans, we are nice. Okay,
you got to get to know them. That's the thing. We're not, I honestly, like, I don't think I'm nice off the bat, but it's not that I'm mean. I just don't talk. I'm not talkative.
I think you're just shy. And like, I think a lot of people have told me I come off like cold when they first meet me. And I'm like, oh, I don't mean to. It's probably because I'm just like, I don't know, like in my own world, or like, I don't know, just like nervous.
Yeah.
But, like, New Jersey people are nice. I swear. And
you get to know them. I understand the stereotype of like when you first meet them, to be honest. I really do, because I feel like we're very in that, focused on what's going on in our lives, like what's next. And the East Coast itself, I feel like, is very like, keep going, what's next. It's not very like,
Yeah, we're like in that busy mentality of like boom, 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 boom. That's how I think of it. So like if you ever like go to the South, they're like so chilled out, and they're like definitely not like us. And it's like, it's so slow here, let's pick up the pace. Like that's how I feel when I'm there. New Jersey, we're a different world.
Yeah, most definitely. But it's okay. I love being from New Jersey, to be honest. I don't know, I know a lot of people who don't like it that they're from New Jersey, but I love being I love where I'm from.
I feel like a lot of New Jerseyans are like a little shameful. They're like, oh yeah, I'm from New Jersey. But like, honestly, there's so many things to love about New Jersey that it's like other people's opinions just like don't matter. Like they think we're rude, or that we're bad drivers, or that our bagels suck. I don't care. I like where I'm from,
That our bagels suck. We have good bagels.
Here's the thing is, people grow up with like their store-bought bagels and I was gonna say a bad word, their terrible pizza. And then they come here, they have the real deal, and then they think it's bad.
That's mind-blowing. What?
Isn't that crazy? It's like a culture shock. They're like, you think this pizza is good? My Domino's is better. And we're like, but we're the OGs. Like we made it, or some guy in Italy made it. Or some guy in New York. I think he was Italian, but he made it in New York. Something like that. I don't know my history on pizza, okay? I just know that it tastes good.
Well, exactly, yeah. That's fine. But I wish everybody at this restaurant well. I hope that everybody is safe and nobody else gets sick because, again, like you said before, the cases are rising. So,
Anyways, from good news to good health tips, we have Issa Winek here for her health and wellness segment.
I hope everyone's doing so far happy and healthy. And if you're not, this is the right place to be. So,
Life has been a little stressful lately. I feel like we keep saying that, but holiday season's coming up. Election just ended. Oh boy, what have you got for us today?
it's true.
I'm gonna need
I
it.
completely understand, especially now. This is such I would say more exciting time. We're past some stressful things. We're still facing finals, and we're still facing this ending of I would say our college semester, and I would say this beginning of the holiday season. And while that's very fun and exciting for some of the time, the other half of the time we also have to make sure that we are doing well, that we are our well-being is fine, that our health is functioning well, that we're not just throwing ourselves into this endless cycle of doing and running this rat race of just endless tasks. And what I would like to discuss today for our segment is how to balance health and wellness and prioritize this in a way. I would say this healthiness of our daily life, while still not sacrificing way too much time or sacrificing too much attention towards it during such times like the holiday season or the ending of the semester. So what I would like to start with, I actually want to start by discussing something quick, because I've just noticed personally for me, whenever I get very busy, I just make myself excuses that prevent me from prioritizing self-care. And whether it's oh, I just don't have time, or oh, I'll do it later, or I have something else more important, it's just these little small things, almost like little small phrases that prevent me from actually caring about myself. And I was wondering, what are some excuses that you guys use, or what do you guys often say that gets you to procrastinate, well-being, health, exercise, healthy eating?
I know mine. I'll just do it later.
Great. That's the best statement out there.
I feel like a lot of people say that, especially, you just mentioned exercise. I've been saying I'll start an exercise plan since I quit my last one in July. I exercised a lot in spring, and at some point I gave up, and I was like, I'll pick it up later. When's later? I don't know.
Yeah. That's if you don't give yourself a specific date, that always happens. I feel like my roommate and I have been saying that we're going to work out this entire semester. We worked out one day, and that was 2 months ago.
Big mood.
Yeah. So we're always oh, we have to do that. And it's yeah, we will, we'll do it. We just still haven't. But I feel like for self-care, for me, it depends on what I have to do. If I'm doing a big assignment, or if it's midterms or finals, I don't know, something big that needs to be done for school, I'll completely just forget about myself and focus on that. But if it's little homework assignments and stuff, I'm very good at procrastinating them, and I'll just be oh, I think I need to watch a movie tonight, for my well-being. And that's such a
I do that too, where I almost put myself first too much, because I'm oh, I could just put it off. I'll just watch a movie right now. I'll just do something relaxing because I need it and I deserve it. And then it's such an imbalance.
Remember when it comes to self-care is that we need to have this balance of self-care and self-discipline. Now, what do I mean by that? We need to have this balance of being on top of our schoolwork, of being on top of our values, priorities, of being productive while still caring for ourselves in a good way. And this is something felt more intuitively, but with proper organization and delegation and really getting to know yourself. And this is, like I said, intuitive. This isn't a lot of thinking or mental processes. But if you really, really get to know yourself and see what your rhythms are, how much you could actually push yourself, that's what helps you see, okay, now is a good time to have this self-care and this relaxation. But now is a good time to also be self-disciplined or focus on something. No, you guys spoke mostly about exercise. That's what you guys seem to procrastinate with the most. I completely get you, because myself, I used to procrastinate a lot with either training, exercise. I was a swimmer for about 4 years, 4 years in high school, and I had a lot of fun. But the thing was that with swimming, Like there was only so many times you could fit in practices. But what we learned is what that taught me was this idea of also discipline and organizing your time. So if you let's say you want to work out 3 times a week, or you want to just exercise to get some movement in, you need to treat it like a priority. You need to remind yourself why it's important to you. That's the first thing. Know why you're doing it. I feel that's the most important. Having like this, I call it why power, knowing why you're doing something. This goes not only to exercise, but also healthy eating. This goes for prioritizing sleep. This goes for prioritizing self-care. Like you need to know why you're doing it, not just do it just to do it, which is important. And once you know why you're doing it, like let's say you want to exercise. You want to just exercise to stay generally fit. You don't have to have like this great vision of it. You just need to have a clear picture of why. Like, for example, some people exercise to train because they're athletes. They want to get stronger. Some people want to get faster. Some people want to get fitter. Some people want to slim down. Like, it really depends what you're going for. And from there, you create yourself just like a little plan, a little system that you could keep repeating that could, in a way, be set up for you on autopilot. So let's say, like, for example, me, I like to train or exercise 3 times a week. And I tell myself, okay, in the morning, I do these 3 days and I train for this and this long. And I usually want to finish around then. Same thing with you guys. You could schedule yourself like a 30-minute, a 20-minute exercise session. Just say, okay, I'm going to, let's say, do yoga, or I'm going to do like body weight training, or I'm going to, let's say, swim in a pool or go for a walk. Like, give yourself, like, schedule it, put it somewhere in your schedule, organize it, and when it comes to that time, like, set yourself a reminder, go out and actually do it and repeat that. And you're going to see it becomes this like really good habit. And this goes for not only exercise, but this could also go for sleeping. This could go, some people really like to meditate or read just to calm their mind down. Some people really like to, whether it's stretch, do yoga. Just if you do schedule this time for yourself and you do it, it becomes automatic after a while. So if you're busy, setting yourself up this automatic routine that you could do, and that's going to kind of stay in your subconscious mind, like by doing it a few times, of course, that's really the key to really having these like strong habits that even if you're busy, you're going to do them no matter what, because you have, number one, that priority, number two, you have it scheduled, and number three, you're already used to doing it. I hope that wasn't too confusing.
No, it makes sense, but I guess I have a question, because I feel like with that stuff I get easily like demotivated. Like I'll do it for a month, and then at some point I'm like, I see myself making progress and I feel myself making progress and I want to keep doing it, but I feel so demotivated that I don't want to. So do you have like tips for like sticking with it? Because I know for some people it becomes habit, but I've talked to a lot of other people and it just doesn't. Like, I don't know.
Like I said earlier, you have to know really why you're doing it and have a very clear picture of why you're doing what you're doing. Like if you want to end, not only that, but you have to adjust your course. Like every week, I like to look by, like, let's talk in regards to exercise. I notice, like, if there's something that I don't like let's say for this whole week I trained and I noticed I don't like this particular exercise, or I don't like this part of my routine, I switch it and I change it. So therefore I could keep exercising, keep getting to my goal, keep getting stronger, faster, or like fitter, but I could also do it in a way that's enjoyable. So what's important to remember is to keep yourself motivated. You have to keep yourself excited about it, whether it's trying something new or whether it's trying something that you liked in particular, or even just like putting yourself in a new location or exposing yourself to something just completely different. What it does, it keeps your mind curious, number one, which does actually motivate you to a certain extent. It's scientifically proven that curiosity actually motivates people much more than like drive or passion, which is very strange. But being curious, like by trying new things, that's number one. Number two, making sure it's something you could easily do. Because a lot of people, they set themselves up this 2-hour long exercise routine or this super clean, strict diet, and they find it really hard to follow. And that's because it's just too hard. So baby steps, trying small things at a time, then seeing if you could increase it. Or like if it's getting too hard, maybe try to switch a variety, try and make it slower. Do something that you know you're going to enjoy and you know that it's sustainable. Those are my top 2 tips really for staying motivated, and they really took me far, so I could say.
You know what? That's actually really helpful because I feel like I haven't heard a lot of people say like to just, if you don't like an exercise, just like don't do it, because I feel like whenever I like worked up, or whenever I've looked up workouts on like YouTube and stuff, I'll just like push through the ones I don't like. But like, even if I know the benefits and stuff, like I feel like now you're making me feel like it's okay to skip it if it really makes me unhappy. And like maybe one day I'll be better at it and I can do it later. But like right now, it's like if I skip doing up and down planks, if you know those, like I'll be fine. They
Up and down
suck.
plank. Did you ever do the Chloe Ting workout ones? Because
Yes.
up and down
Oh my,
planks.
I used to do
oh
those when
my
I was
God.
younger. Oh my gosh.
The
I
up
love
and down
Chloe
planks
Ting,
are
but her
next
up and
level.
down planks kill me.
And there's always like multiple in her videos, and I'm like, okay.
And then she's like, guys, round 2 of workout. You thought you were done, but here's more up and down planks. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. No, but that is a good
I
point.
did
That
do
makes
them
me
for-
feel better.
I did do them for a while. I started to get actually good at them. And then right when I started getting good at them, I was just like, you know what? Never mind. Screw this.
Yeah, probably because you didn't like it.
Yeah,
It's,
I didn't like it. I think I
yeah.
was forcing myself to like it because I felt like I had to do it.
And there's
But I
also
did it.
like modifications for every type of exercise
yeah.
move too, which is like if it's too hard, you can do like a different version of it. And I
could
always
do
think
it.
that's
I just
good.
didn't want to.
Yeah, because then you feel it's kind of like you feel like you're not doing it right if you're not doing it that way, but that's not true necessarily. So like it's a good point. But you don't have to like follow everything.
What is just important to remember, in my opinion, like there's so many ways like you could go about reaching your goal or go about exercising that are much more enjoyable than just like simple things that are shown to us either on YouTube or either like on Pinterest. When I was younger, I would look up workouts. So remember that like if you want to get fit, there's so many fun ways to do it. Like don't limit yourself to one thing.
See, that's some really sound advice. You know, I'm gonna need to start working out for the holidays again, just to counteract any food I'm going to eat. Speaking of food, next week we've got our Halloween. Nope. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Halloween.
My brain is foggy today. Give me a minute. Okay.
Just speaking of you.
Speaking of food, next week we've got our Thanksgiving episode up, and I'm sure you're gonna just like come up with something really cool to share with us, Issa, because I need to know how to stay healthy when there's like a bunch of mac and cheese and mashed potatoes in front of me.
Sure, yeah.
So thank you so much today, Issa. That wraps up our show today, and remember to tune in next week. We'll talk about gratitude, food, and lots more. We can wake up with Leslie and Caitlin. We'll see you next time. Bye.